spawning at the bottom right is our blue Protoss playing for Dragon Phoenix Gaming. Give it up for Zest.
And spawning in the top left corner of the map, also playing for Dragon Phoenix Gaming. So we do have a bit of a team kill in this series. Playing as the red Terran player and rocking the star on his base. It is Cure.
Well, if you are gonna be a fan of Cure, the happy start is probably gonna be your main reason, right? I mean, that thing is so happy and cute. Can't help but be a fan of it.
Oh, definitely. I mean, in a game as unforgiving as StarCraft, yeah, you need a little happiness, right? Alright, now we do see that Zest's probe did scout around a little bit of a long way, just sort of making sure that there are no proxies coming out of Cure. Now, of course, Cure himself will not be proxying as well, so
Yeah,
looks like everything is going to open up standard here.
Yeah, I find Cure is going to be a different player compared to Special, and so I fully expect the series to go completely different compared to the last series. Special more of a risk taker. He is prone to more proxies, while Cure he's more of a standard type of Terran. Not to say he can't proxy, but normally he will play more of a standard, straightforward kind of game.
Yeah, definitely. Now, I find that with those kinds of macro-oriented players, standard-oriented players, it just makes their proxies and their cheeses all the more entertaining, you know? Because, like, we've got, as you said, the risk takers and the people who tend to proxy. It's like, yeah, we've seen this, and we will see this, and you know, it's great, but, like, this has happened before. And then when we see somebody like Innovation, funnily enough, I love that name for him. But anyways, when we see Innovation pulling out a proxy 3 racks or whatever, it's like, oh wow, they can also do that.
Yeah. And oh, looks like we have interesting. We have ourselves a robotics facility, not a Twilight Council, not a Stargate like he did against Special, but opening with a quick, straight up robotics facility. What do you think this might be for?
Oh man, I have no clue, because my only experience with Robo First would be something crazy like, you know, disruptor drops excuse me, sorry, not but a Soul Train. But I don't think Soul Trains are they used against Terrans? I don't think so, right? I think that's definitely an anti-Zerg thing. If I were to take a guess, I would say that this is for something like disruptors. But we do see that it is an observer first, so Zest looking to play it safe a little bit, it looks like.
Yeah, definitely going to be interesting to see what he follows this up with. He does have some minerals for a robotics bay. He can plot that down right now if he wants to. But looks like he just will follow up with more observers. Okay, so playing it like very, very safe. So the idea is that you make the observer, you scout what your opponent's going for, and you just set the observers across the outskirts of your bases to see if there's any drops or banshees coming or raven maybe coming, and then you just play it very, very safe.
And I love the irony, because we do see, of course, this small group of Marines. Oh, well, there are 3 Stalkers here, as well as that Adept, so I don't think that the Marines are going to get too much done. But -2 Stalkers, I was just about to say that it was ironic, because Zest playing super safe with all of these different observers, and then he was about to get smacked by a bunch of Marines. Now, that is not going to be the case, of course. I should have had more faith in our, best boy Zest, but it looks like it will be a RoboBay follow-up, as those Marines just head right back home, not able to find any sort of damage.
Alright, looks like this Widow Mine drop won't be able to find too much damage, as Zest has been able to, at least for today, been very, very aware of those Widow Mine drops, and has been being able to pull his boys at a really, really immediate pace. So looks like it's going to be a 2 base Colossus opening. Okay, so Yeah, so basically the dirt base is going to be a bit delayed, but it does mean that Zest will be in a much more safer position if Cure decided to go for like a timing attack of some sort. And because of course, like, you do sometimes see a 3 racks opening against the Protoss, and you just move across the map and just do a stim timing. And sometimes if you go for the early third, it really does set you aback because you just don't have enough units to defend. But if you just kind of play it safe with a 2 base Colossus opening, then it does allow you to fend off that bio attack a lot easier.
Right, and you mentioned a stim timing. It does look like that's going to be the case for Cure. We do see that stim and combat shield are researching at the same time, so it's going to be a bunch of Widow Mines. It's going to be triple M as well for Cure, and like you said, having those 2 Colossi with extended thermal lance is going to make this defense a lot easier. Now, I find this pretty interesting. We see the Stalkers going out into the middle of the map. Nice Adept Shade is actually going to scout out the bio as well. So a pretty good scout. We do see some more gateways just about to finish. Charge is being started on the Twilight Council as well as a 3rd Colossus. But now the job... Oh, some very nice force fields, but it does leave a bit too large of a gap. So we do see a lot of bio streaming through. They are diving deep, but I don't think that is quite enough. These 2 Stalkers are basically untouched, and that is not what Cure wanted to see out here in the middle of the map. That was very solid by Zest, and Cure is going to head right back home.
Yeah, it kind of feels like a kind of a build order win because Zest had exactly what he needed to do to shut this down, and he will. The most important thing is that he saved both Colossus, and that means that he can kind of continue increasing those Colossus count. The gateway units that he lost, I'm sure he didn't want to lose them, but it's okay. The higher value, the higher tier units, they're safe and they can fight another day as well. So a great start here for Zest. And I would imagine that he will start adding in some additional splash damage units, whether it's disruptors. I mean, he already has a disruptor, this robotics bay for it, or he can add in maybe high Templars with Storm, as he previously did. But here we go. Cure going for another. It looks like another attack here, but this time around, he's going to face against 3 Colossus out in the field.
Yeah, and this is an even smaller army. We just see 5 Marauders making up the bulk of the ground, and then, of course, a couple of medevacs as well. So I highly doubt that this is going to get much done. Yep, here we see the 2 Stalkers coming in, making sure that no sort of out-positioning is going to be had for Cure. And like you said earlier, that was really a critical army reset for Cure, but it was the opposite of that for Zest. Zest was able to, as you accurately mentioned, kept his key units alive, whereas Cure's army was just, decimated. And for that reason, his stim timing became an anti-timing, and looks like Cure is going to go straight into Liberators. Now, I do like that choice because he was not able to take advantage of that sort of upgrade timing. So now he's going to go and look for another advantage, which will be those Liberators, of course. And at the same time, we do see Zest coming out with the patent-pending safety DT Shrine.
Oh man, safety DT Shrine. That just feel like it doesn't fit together. That shouldn't be in the sentence.
Yeah, exactly. It should not exist,
Alright, looks like Cure still trying to find some opening here, but Zest is just... I mean, he even got shield battered and cannon in the main base. He is on lockdown. He's got this so well scattered out. And got even a set of a group of charge lot here at the top in case he wants to go for a counterattack or a backdoor slide here. And look at this. No, absolutely nothing here to defend this third base. I would just send the charge lot right now. He has hallucinated Phoenix scouting that there's nothing here to defend. Yeah, he should just send it there.
Now, at the same time, we do see Cure going for a huge Doom Drop in Zest main, backing it up with a bunch of Liberator zones. Now, Shield Battery Overcharge is immediately popped, keeping that Photon Cannon alive for just a little bit while longer, but Zest is coming back up in here with his main Stalker Colo Immo army, and it looks like the bio will be cleaned up, and the Liberators are left to die, so overall, not too much damage was done for Zest, but at the same time, his charge lots did come in and clean out a mineral line, forcing that third command center to lift up. So looks like overall Zest was able to adequately defend his main and deal some of his own damage. Now, the Bio 4 Cure is trying to do a little bit more damage, but all of a sudden, the main army does come down to flank, and the Stalkers are going to join up and destroy a medevac before they get out. So it looks like this is not necessarily the engagement that the Red Terran is trying to get. Now, Bio reinforcements are coming in, and that is a very Marauder-heavy army, so it will be able to deal with this ground force of Protoss a little bit easier, but yeah, this is not looking good for Cure, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, the army composition is just so good for Zest. He has the Colossus for the Marines, and he has the Immortals for the Marauders. So, I mean, and then he has the Splingstalkers for the Liberators. So he has every counter he needs to just go across the map and just shut this third base of Cure down, and it looks like he will. The only thing is that he doesn't have a War Prism, so the reinforcements won't be here immediately. That's the only bright side here for Cure. But yeah, this is a scary army nonetheless here for Zest.
Yeah, definitely. Now we see a couple of DTs also joining the mix. One pair was immediately morphed into an Archon, and I love this. We do see the Colossi rotating around. That way they can actually hit some of the SCVs as they are trying to repair the orbital. So a bit of cute counter positioning from our blue Protoss. At the same time, Zest is taking a fourth base behind this, as Cure is just struggling to sort of keep Zest off his back. Now, we do see that Cure is able to sort of make sure that Protoss cannot destroy his third. At the same time, Protoss is moving down into the middle of the map where the bio already is. So let's see if Cure can adequately kite. Now, it looks like ooh, that was a pretty decent force field. The Liberators just now joined the party, but already so many of the bio forces are falling. So I am not too sure about this for Cure.
Yeah, GG. Zest will take a game number 1 here and put Cure down 0-1. So GG, well played. Alright, I'm just taking a look at the prediction polls, and it looks like 62% of you guys have predicted Cure to win. Only 38 for Zest. By the looks of it, if Zest just keeps playing like he has all day today, I think I think a lot of people will be starting to lose some channel points here. But we, of course, know Cure as one of the top Terran players, at least in Korean scene. And so I would not doubt him, even though he is down 0-1, he is very, very capable of pulling it back and winning this series.
Oh, definitely. I'm just sort of thinking back to that first game and wondering, what if he was allowed to hit with that sort of stim combat shield timing? Because he was actually producing 2 Marauders at a time. So the Marauder to Marine ratio was actually 1-to-1. And I'm just thinking, you know, if maybe he went for something a bit more aggressive, like maybe a hidden drop or something like that, could he have actually brought that game into his favor in the early game? So, you know, I feel like we have yet to see Cure's full strength, while we have already seen what Zest is capable of in previous games.
Yeah, I mean, it's I guess a little bit of, we have seen Zest throughout the whole, I mean, we basically covered all his series and games, but this is the first time we're seeing Cure, so we don't know like what level and what shape Cure is in today, because Cure is one of those players that one day he looks like the best Terran in the world, and then some other days he looks like he's one of the mediocre Terrans in the world. And so, you know, the question is, what kind of Cure is going to show up today?
It better be a good one, you know, because we do have a bit of a pandemic situation. Anyways, we do see a Robo first again, so it looks like, you know, don't fix it if it ain't broke. So I do like this move from Zest, and I'm not too sure how Romanticide will play into that, but hey, you know, I'm all for it if it worked in the last game. So on the other hand, we do see his opponent Cure going for a Hellion opening. Now, I find this quite interesting. What do you think of this, Snoopy?
Yeah, I think, you know, the main base is one of the main bases that are large, and so Hellion drops is very, very prevalent. And then also the ramp area is actually pretty decently wide. It takes a couple of buildings to wall off, so yeah, I do like this decision to go for Hellions. Now, once again, though, we do see that on the other side, Zest going for that quick robotics facility once again, making. So basically, it just seems like the same build as last game, as he is making and cranking out that observer. I would expect him to start taking his 4th gas as well to power up that Colossus tech, and we'll see how this time around it will be able to do as Kier is moving across the map with these Hellions.
We did see one of the first 4 Hellions being picked off by the Adepts, so that was a good move by Zest, sort of making sure that, you know, not a critical mass of Hellions can come out. Now, it does look like they are angling to come into the natural here, which already there is a half wall set up with a bunch of units, so good positioning by Zest is going to prevent the Hellions from running by just for the time being. Yeah, it looks like that the units will come out and chase away the Hellions for the time being, so well played. Now, it looks like it will be a quick stim follow-up with Marines only, so I do like this move a lot. I think we're going to see a sort of, maybe a 16 Marine drop or something like that. I'm not too sure.
Yeah, I don't see any Widow Mines or anything, and he's making 2 of them, so yeah, it looks like he might be firing over some of these battle units, infantry units, over along with the Hellions. But Zest once again playing the same build as he did last game, going for that 2 base Colossus. So and then a little bit of a delayed third. So he's playing it once again on the safer edge, less economic but a bit safer, and that might actually prove to once again be positive for him, an advantage for him, because it seems like Kira wants to go for another timing attack that he's gonna once again face up against Colossus.
Yeah, now we do see the 3 Hellions from earlier coming back in and actually catching Zest a little bit out of position. Luckily, Zest does have a few Stalkers in the... Oh, but that's not going to be enough. These Hellions are going to start roasting probes in the natural, taking down 6 probes for 3 Hellions. I think that is a pretty good trade because probes at this stage in the game are definitely more valuable than Hellions. We do see a sizable double drop coming into the main as well. Zest is caught a little bit off guard. He does warp in some Stalkers, but that first, that first Colossus is going to be out on time, ready to shoo away this double drop, but Kier will rotate down to the low ground and try to take care of some more probes, but not going to quite be able to find another one as that Colossus also chases the double drop back onto the low ground. Now, we do see a single drop with a Widow Mine coming into the natural, so Kier definitely looking to get some more damage. Oh no.
Oh man, that was some nice target firing by Kier, and was able to take down a clump of probes there, 7 in fact. And now the good thing is that Zest does have 3 bases, so he can kind of chrono boost out and remake those probes, but still, I mean, the Terran player is right now equal in the worker count, and that is never a good sign when you're the Protoss.
Yeah, definitely. It is also never a good sign for the Protoss when your opponent feels they are safe enough to take a 3rd command center on location. Now, oh my gosh, Kier coming back in here with the same double drop from earlier, picking off an additional 5 probes. So it looks like here in game number 2, Kier is finding these cracks in Zest's armor, even though Zest went for the same safe opening that he did as last game. So we might see a turning point here, because if there is a road to victory for Kier, this is definitely part of it.
Yeah, it just seems that the observers haven't been able to help him out this time around compared to the last game where he was able to scout all the drops and stuff. So Zest is gonna have to keep an eye out on the minimap for these drops here, because it seems like Kier is wanting to put on the pressure. So far, we do see Blink halfway done. More Colossus is on the way. And I'm wondering if he wants to go for a timing attack, because he's adding more gateways. And he can very well make a follow-up Warp Prism and just go straight across the map and just go for the kill.
Oh wow, right as you said that, Snoopy, he actually added on more gateways, so I think he definitely has this in mind, and it looks like Kier is just going to move back on home. So the roles are going to be flipped a little bit here. Kier actually also setting up for a high ground engagement with that high ground missile turret, as well as a supply depot to sort of start up that Sim City. And of course, Sim Cities are excellent when you're dealing with melee units such as zealots such as DTs, that sort of thing. And speaking of which, we do see a DT shrine going down once again, as well as a Ghost Academy for Cure. So a bit of a, well, not too long of a lull, as it looks like Cure will be moving back across the map with a pretty Marauder-heavy army as well.
Yeah. Now the thing about the Dark Shrine, I don't think this is actually for DTs. I think this is mainly for Archons, because he invested a lot of gas into these Colossus, and as well as the Mortals, as well as the upgrades. So I think he wants to go for a big attack and use the Dark Shrine for the Archons, because you know Archons do take, I mean sorry, the DTs do take less gas compared to High Templars. And here we go. Looks like we might actually see a skirmish here out in the bottom side here.
Oh man, at first I was sort of questioning why Zest only went for one Colossus and is actually pumping out Immortals, but looking at Cure's army, seeing how heavy it is in Marauders, as well as Vikings, which are good anti-air, I think that the Immortals definitely make sense here. Now, the question is, will this be enough? He does have 3 Colossi in total, which I should have noticed earlier, but we also see a Warpin of Charge Lots and Charges just about to finish, as well as +2 attack for the Protoss, so I don't think that Cure is going to be able to find the opening that he wanted to take advantage of.
Alright, some nice blink Stalkers, just kind of rinse and repeat. He does have a shield battery, so he can kind of heal those Stalkers. But it looks like Cure not quite yet ready to commit to the attack. Okay, never mind. Looks like he is ready finally. He's waiting for, I think, the Ghost upgrade maybe? But at the same time, let's hold that thought, because there is a charge lot run by here at the 3rd base. Not going to get too much done. 5, 6, 7. Okay, maybe I ate my words, but 70 sim workers, pretty decent. Yeah.
Right. So, yeah, as you said, Zest has excellent Blink Stalker micro, making sure to constantly poke at the bio, not only being able to keep an eye on it at basically all times, but also shaving off units here and there. I did see earlier he blinked he blinked out after getting a nice shot off on a Medevac, which is always, of course, a unit that you never want to lose as the Terran. Now, I agree with your assumption that Cure was actually waiting for his ghosts, but the thing is, the ghosts were still at home as they were waiting on the upgrades.
Ah, okay, yeah. Okay, so now it looks like, oh, do we have a little bit of a lag here? Is it me or is it
are we back?
else? Yep.
Yeah, it was probably my internet. It's always funky whenever I'm on KR. So Cure coming back for yet another attack, just as DT Blink is about to finish. Now these ghosts are getting pretty deep ahead. Are they going to be able to get, an excellent preemptive EMP on the main Colossus army? Will Cure be able to break this?
Well, he's kind of focused right now back at home, as these DTs have come upon his 3rd base. Another additional 9 SCVs going down, but it's the main fight here at the Protoss is what really matters. These Vikings absolutely destroyed the rest of the Colossus, and now all that's left are these Immortals and Blink Stalkers. Oh boy.
Vikings are landed. A Sentry Force Field has also been popped, but yeah, Cure is smelling blood right now. He's definitely looking to push forward and see what additional damage he can do. He's busting down the front door of the Natural of Zest. He's also pushing forward. It looks like his bio is finally being thinned out. More EMP is going down, so these ghosts are definitely getting their money's worth. But yeah, both players taking a lot of damage to their armies, but overall, the situation doesn't seem to have changed. Cure is still sort of sharking around, seeing what other damage he can do outside of the bases of Zest. He is rotating to the 4th base, and it looks like he will be able to find an angle, at least temporarily, here at the 4th base.
Yeah, the last fight though, the Morals, man, they packed a punch there, but with the EMPs, it looks like maybe he'll be able to break him. This is going to be close. Probes are being pulled. The Colossus, though, does come in here to help out, so that can actually help him to stabilize, but he does lose 13 probes for that.
Oh man, and all of a sudden the supply for Zest did dip under 100 just temporarily there. Zest adding on more gateways, and what do we have here? We have 2 SCVs going down? I did not count. Oh, there we go. We see some DTs on Cure's side of the map as well, but Yeah, this is wow. I mean, we're seeing a lot of fighting this game.
Yeah, a lot of back and forth. I mean, we see like huge engagements at the Protoss side, and then DT backstab at the Terran side. So these guys are just going back and forth, but Kier has put himself in a great position to close out this game. I mean, he's the one with the worker supply lead. He's got, I guess, a upgrade lead with plus 2/2 versus only the plus 3 of the Protoss. I guess I shouldn't say only a 3. I mean, it's close, pretty close, but these DTs though are still being so annoying, hacking away here, taking down some additional SCVs, and this is exactly what Zest needs, because right now he's a little bit behind, so he needs something to help him crawl himself back to the game, and this is one way to do so.
A huge pickoff for the blue Protoss, taking down that planetary almost immediately. An excellent blink on top, as well as some very nice force fields, preventing the SCVs from getting the surface area they needed to make sure that they adequately prepared the planetary. And the bio was caught out of position, not quite there on time to help defend against the blue Protoss army. So that was a very good pickoff for Zest.
Yeah, he's kind of got a little bit lucky because he caught Kier's army out of position. But yeah, sometimes StarCraft is a game of luck.
Oh, definitely. But speaking of luck, no, I'm just kidding. I was trying to make a joke of it, but I mean, I don't know about luck. We do see some disruptors on the production tab as well, but it does look like the main Bioforce is going to take down all of Zest's already remaining Colossi. So, I mean, Kier is definitely taking good fights left and right. His ghosts are still alive. Even his Viking count is pretty healthy right now. So it looks like he's just going to stem forward. F2A move. We see a disruptor on the high ground. Oh my
nice
gosh.
hit. Can we get a nice hit? Wow, what a nice hit.
Man, these disruptors are, I would say they're definitely getting their money's worth, as Zest is definitely put on the ropes. Another good EMP going down on the main Stalker force, and all of a sudden, I don't know, is this it? Is Kier about to break through?
Oh man, can he get another great disruptor hit? It doesn't look so. It looks like the momentum is swinging heavily in favor of Kier. Supply dropping heavily for our blue Protoss. He is going to go ahead and go for one more disruptor hit. It just flakes out, and GG, Kier ties up the series. Spawning here at the bottom left is our blue Protoss, looking to take the series lead. Can he do it? It is Zest.
And his opponent spawning here in the top right corner of the map, playing as the red Terran player for Dragon Phoenix Gaming. It is Kier.
Oh man, some of the command center building base is blocking some of our happy stars, so a little bit of a... Oh, actually, never mind. That's just a little bit of a graphical bug here, or error, or glitch, however you like to call it. Okay, there we go. We see the full happy star. There we go.
Yeah, we need that. Otherwise, we need to stop the game and stop the series and call it a draw. Oh, I see what you mean. Okay, I'm also seeing that glitch when I zoom into the command center. Interesting.
Yeah.
Man, that probe definitely being a nuisance. Always forcing Kier for the entire series, forcing Kier to commit 2 SCVs just for 1 probe.
Yeah, man, I would have actually liked because the barracks was placed in the position where it kind of lends to a add-on to it. Sometimes I do like some cheeky, moves of just placing a pylon there so it could just block off the add-on. That could be, get on people's nerves because it is a little bit cheeky. But sometimes it is kind of funny.
Oh, definitely. I mean, whatever works, really. But it looks like that's not going to be the case here. We do see a quick reactor going into double marine production. So is this considered a safe build from Terran, or do you think this is more aggressive in this matchup?
Well,
scratch that. we do see a second barracks coming down. So If I were a betting man, I would say we might see some maybe a 3-rack stim timing.
Yeah, that's exactly what I think Kier is about to go for. We should see the Dirty Racks coming down soon, especially since there's not a second gas, and looks like there's no factory on the way quite yet. But yeah, I think because this map, again, we said it before, the shortest map in the map pool, and 3 racks pressure is a great way to put on pressure against the Protoss player. And there we go, third racks on the way.
Very nice. Now we do see on the first racks a double Reaper production. Is that typical of this build? I'm not sure. I thought it was just straight Marines, or maybe the Reapers serve another purpose. I'm not too sure.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure about these 2 Reapers. Usually it was just, you see the Terran player who go for these this 3 racks play, just go for straight Marines and stuff. But yeah, this is a little bit of a twist here. But
yeah, now we do see these 2 Reapers coming into the natural of Zest, and they're actually going to be able to pick off, what is it? It looks like 3 probes immediately. Now, I mean, hey, maybe that could be worth it. Now, this Stalker is going to chase away the first Reaper, killing, it's going to kill the first Reaper, and then the second Reaper is going to be a bit more of a nuisance here in the main. So, keeping Zest honest, but at the same time, we do see the Marines beginning to move out onto the map.
Oh man, what a horrible start here for Zest. Not only did he lose 4 probes, he lost 2 adepts for absolutely no reason. Just a little bit of mismicro. I think he was kind of paying attention back at home, and that kind of he forgot to cancel the adept shade. So he lost one of the adepts at the ramp area, depot area, and then he had another one that was just kind of wandering around, just walked straight into the Marines. And
Man,
against a Terran player that is doing 3 racks on the map like Becca Industries, you need all the units you can get and to retain. So losing 2 of those adepts, that might lend itself to this attack doing more damage than it should.
Yeah, now here we go. Stim is just about to finish right as the Marines hit Zest's side of the map, and I totally am in agreement with you, Snoopy. I'm quite surprised that Zest didn't actually put down a shield battery or something at the natural, but at the same time, you know, the Marines are cycling up to the north, so it gives Zest a little bit more time to prepare, and I think by the time these Marines try to do anything, which it looks like they're actually headed home, the first Colossus will already have been popped. So looks like Zest is not going to have to worry too much about these Marines for the time being.
Yeah, I think he there's a sigh of relief for him, because if this ramp area at this natural with the rocks, if it was bigger, I'm sure the Kier would have gone for it. But because it's a small ramp, and the force field is so good at blocking and segmenting some of these Marines, it was kind of a good setup for Zest to defend there. So, but by no means so he breathe a sigh of relief, because the combat shield is about to be done, the concussive shell is about to be done, medevacs are out and about, and he is not gonna lend or slow down on this pressure here. He is trying to go for the main, but actually might bypass the observer here.
Oh, that's right. Looks like this double drop is going to go straight in. We do see a Colossus as well as some Stalkers in position. So luckily, Zest was already in position to help defend against that. Now, his observer outside his third base is also in a good position to sort of scout out that there is another Bioforce. So far, Zest looking to prevent the damage that Kier is trying to inflict. And it looks like Extended Thermal Lance is done. Blink is started, and that concussive shell combat shield timing has been denied.
Yeah, that is so important for Zest there. And by the way, thank you, Some Drunk Canadian, with the raid of 120. Hope you had a great stream there over at the of course he was casting the other half of our Brawlers Club. But yeah, welcome everybody from the Some Drunk Canadian stream. We are here with our last series. Score is tied 1-1, and we are in the midst of it, because whoever wins this game will take the series lead and will be at match points. Cure trying to put on some pressure, some early pressure, but has not been able to, as Zest is such a great defensive Protoss player.
Yeah, as you said, you know, having those key units in the right places, because it is so easy to just clump up all of your big Protoss units and just make it into one death ball. But Zest having the game sense to split up his Colossi and his Stalkers, making sure that nothing can get into the main as well as the third, the two most common locations for a Terran to try to drop into. Now, it does look like we do see a huge bio clump, possibly setting up for a Doom drop, it looks like.
Yeah, unfortunately for him, he actually got scouted by a hallucinated Phoenix, unluckily.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, he was looking for the Doom drop, but that will, of course, not happen now, as he was spotted. And unluckily, does not scout the Observer with a scan, of course. But yeah, he is probably going to have to attack here at the north, because there is a large group of army here at the main base just waiting for that Doom drop.
Yeah, no, it looks like that, like you said, the Doom drop is not going to happen. Oh, maybe it's still going to happen. I'm not too sure. But regardless, it looks like the 4 tanks and the 2 Liberators, the key higher tech units, are going to join up with the main bio force.
Oh no!
At
Zest's army just moved away from the main base just right when Cure is about to attack here. Oh boy.
Oh man.
Okay, he does spot it with the Zealot, the scouting Zealot. Okay, that's good.
Okay, so we do see the first Colossus already in position. Main bio force is going to be met by the main Protoss force. So for now, Cure is going to try to slow siege and push up the ramp. The bio is going to push up the ramp, and we do see that the Liberators are in position to start shelling away at the Protoss ground forces. Now, these Colossi are definitely doing their work, as well as the tanks on the low ground. A bit of a slugfest here. We do see the Medivacs having a lot of energy, able to keep the bio alive for just a little bit longer. And Cure looks like he will clean up a lot of Zest forces. All that's left for Zest are those 3 Colossi dealing, again, tremendous damage from the back line. But will it be enough? His supply is dipping below 100, and it doesn't look like Cure is going to let up anytime soon, as none of his key units have gone down.
Yeah, there's still five tanks on the field here. And oh, it's going to be so hard for him to get on top of them. And it's not going to be hard for these infantries to get on top of these Colossus, taking out 2 of them. That is going to be... I think this is it. I mean, I don't see Zest being able to hold on. This last Colossus is going to fall down. No shield battery overcharge can help him. These DTs are his Hail Mary. But, oh, man, look at that scan.
Man, GG is called. Cure takes the lead, going up to 2-1.
Alright, so Cure found himself in a 2-1 series lead, and I think that could be attributed to only one main thing that has given him the ability to do so, and it must be that Go Happy Lucky Star next to his building right there. I mean, that thing, I believe it gives you like a 200% energy boost of some sort.
Oh, definitely. I mean, it's all about the spiritual energy, you know, like Stim, whatever. That's fine, but it's all about the star. It's all about the mental. Yep.
I mean, there's a reason why, like in Super Mario, I mean, they go for the star upgrade, right?
Yep, that's right.
So that's exactly what
we
the
all
star
know
does.
that Nintendo is the franchise owner of StarCraft 2, Legacy of the Void. So.
Oh man.
Oh, that was pretty cute. So we saw that the supply depot actually ended up blocking its own SCV. So a little bit unfortunate, but, you know, really not the biggest of deals.
Now we do see, of course, Zest did scout it, right? I believe, yeah. Let's see.
Yep.
Yeah, he did scout the early factory. So he should at least have an idea that it might be some Hellion or Widow Mine type of thing. Especially since it is placed right next to the barracks, which usually means that they're going to switch over with the add-on.
Right. Yeah. Looks like that will be the case, as the factory is already in position to drop right onto the reactor as soon as it finishes. Yep, there we go. So it looks like Hellions are going to come out of the factory for cure. So we will have to wait and see how this interacts with the Stargate that is almost halfway done for Zest.
Yeah, so of course the Stargate, usually a good answer for early factory openings, especially early Hellion and Widow Mines. The Phoenixes, if it does decides to be Phoenixes, he can lift up the Hellions and as well as take out the medevac. If it's going to be Orko, he can snipe down the Hellions with the pulsar beams as well. But in the meantime, he will go ahead and put on some pressure here, and then harass is natural. Actually, he does a nice job. Slows down by killing the STV.
I was just about to say the Adepts had successfully shaded up through the supply depot, so I was afraid that the Adepts were going to find some sort of opening, but that does not look to be the case. They're going to get that kill and get on out of there. But on the other hand, we do see these Hellions trying to make their way up the ramp, so they actually do split. One Hellion does go on to the low ground, but it looks like this Oracle and this Adept will be enough to finish it. So, like you mentioned, Snoopy, it looks like the Stargate opener will be enough to protect against the early Hellion harass.
Yep, and now he can kind of go across the map with this Oracle and Phoenixes, and he can draw the Phoenixes with the Widow Mine if there is a Widow Mine in the field, because Phoenixes, it takes 2 Widow Mines to kill. So you can use one of the Phoenixes as bait to draw out the Widow Mine hit, and then use the Oracle to focus down on the SCVs. And we'll see if that does happen. But in the meantime, there are some Marines parked out here in the mineral line because he knows that there are air tech for the blue Protoss.
Oh, and I'm not too sure about that armory positioning. If I were a betting man, I'd say that this Protoss Sky Army is going to successfully scout it. Now, here we go. First sort of harass. Oh, that first Phoenix getting dangerously low on health. The second Phoenix has to abort its liftoff, and I was mistaken. I thought that Sky Toss army, well, not exactly Sky Toss, but harassing air army was going to be able to scout the armory, but it looks like that's not going to be the case for now. Charge has begun for Zest back at home, as well as 7 gates. Wow, 7 gates. Is that a lot? I feel like that is a lot, right?
Yeah, that is a lot. In fact, he has stopped making Phoenixes, stopped at 2. Usually you will see the Protoss go up to maybe 3 to 5 or so, but he has stopped into 2 because he wants to invest the rest of the resources into this gateway, either defense or push. But it looks like he might go for a defense because he said, oh, actually, hold that thought. There is a nice catch here on the left side. We'll catch his medevac drop here, which is a good sign because you don't want to be losing probes to a Widow Mine drop at this point of the game.
Yeah, definitely. Now, at the same time, we do see that the main Bioforce is actually going to head right back home. So, Cure was looking to set up a sort of 2-pronged harass with the Bio going down towards the 3rd, and then, of course, this medevac trying to get some damage with the Widow Mines up in the main. Looks like that's not going to be the case here in this game, so Zest definitely on point with his Phoenix positioning as well as his charge lots.
Okay, I thought he would initially go for a defensive play, which he did because he saw there was some harassment coming and there was some move out coming, but I think he might be switching to an aggressive push. I mean, especially with that proxy pylon, unless that proxy pylon is for like setting up a counter attack while the Terran army is out and about in the middle of the map. But he can very well just warp in a bunch of gateway units and go for a big attack and try to keep Cure set at only 2 bases. There is no third orbital actually.
Yeah, the lack of a 3rd orbital is quite telling. I'm not too sure. Does Cure feel like he needs to protect against some sort of attack? Because we do see that missile turret actually going down on the high ground, and it looks like he's already being, putting all of the Marines into very defensive positions. But I'm not too sure about this. At the same time, we also see that both players actually started +1 attack for their respective armies at almost exactly the same time. Now, for Zest, it looks like he will go into that High Templar tech, which I think is a great choice in this scenario. High Templar, of course, are, just absolutely amazing splash units against Bio with their storms, but hold that thought because it looks like Zest's main Phoenix Zealot army is moving across the map. Oh, is it? Oh, okay. Never mind. Scratch that.
Yeah, this is a really smart move by Zest. He scouts there's no third command center for Kier. So right now, all he needs to do is sit back and play defensively. He doesn't really need to overstep his boundaries and just like completely lose his entire army. And then Kier just go across the map and just outright kills him because right now, all he needs to do just set up some shoe batteries, get some additional units, warp-ins, and play it safe. As he does have looks like he was trying to go for a charge lot, a backdoor hit, but we'll go ahead and actually might go for a setup, a sandwich surround setup here.
Yeah, honestly, at this point, I feel like Kier needs to put down a third command center because he's already missed his, or he is about to miss his window. Now, we do see that Zest has some excellent tags with the Oracle, but here we go. The main fight up front, Phoenixes are going to lift up pretty much all of the Widow Mines, and the Zealots coming in for the flank. They are going to catch some of the Bio off guard. Bio is kiting fairly well as of the time being, but these Phoenixes are giving chase to the Medivacs, and so far, I mean, look at that. Kier's army is just being cleaned out.
Yeah, unfortunately, he just doesn't have the overwhelming amount of units to just outright kite. The Phoenix is also faster than the Medivac, so he can catch up on those. And right now, I mean, Kier really, I'm not sure if you have any other answers because he's his Widowmine numbers has been reset. He still has a good decent amount of Medivacs, but look at the units underneath it. Not scary at all.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Widow Mines are great against charge lots, but the thing is, Zest's micro has been on point this entire game. He's been able to lift up the Phoenix, with the Phoenixes, he's been able to lift up some of the Widow Mines, like he just did here. And it looks like this is going to be a repeat of what happened a few seconds earlier. We do see that Kier's bio is being forced back. Like you said, not even being able to adequately kite, simply because there isn't that critical mass of bio. And now that we have Colossi in play as well, an additional source of splash damage and an additional headache for Kier, his bio army right now is just not enough to punch through.
Yeah, we're past 10-minute mark and there's no third CC.
Oh, wow.
And Zest will take a game number 4 as Kier knows he is just too far behind economically. Well played by our Protoss. Alright, this is it. This is going to be the last game of today, the last game of our Brawls Club number 6 to determine who will win between these two lovely players. And I, this time around, actually do not have any predictions. I think it could go either way. Both of these players are legends in their own right. I feel like they're also pretty equally matched as well, so I would not be surprised into who will take the victory here.
Yeah, definitely. Now, I feel like it was so interesting to start off this series simply because Zest was, you could see in his build order and you could see in his decision making that he was definitely treating Kier as a very different opponent than the way that he treated Special. And even though the two are the same race, Special and Kier I'm referring to, he treated them completely differently. And I just find that so interesting because, you know, against Special, Zest was going up to 4 bases when Special was still on 2, and you know, here we saw him going up to 2 base Colo and playing super safe against Kier, and just the decision making involved in the fights as well. So I found that pretty interesting.
Yeah, I mentioned it earlier. I think Kier and Special do have kind of different play styles, and you know, you gotta adapt to your opponent play style sometimes. Yes, you have your set amount of builds. You know, you have your preconceived build order on specific maps, but nonetheless, you do have to differentiate your builds and your plays just based off of your opponent's play style and their tendencies and stuff. So Zest has been, I mean, you know, Zest is one of the players that I do think he is can kind of get stubborn sometimes and just like stick with yeah, because like back in like PvZ especially, like he would go for like a depth attack, like a 4-gate adept. It doesn't work, and he was just like still stick with it and try to make it work until it works. And sometimes, you know, it kind of leads him to just outright lose a series. But you know, Zest has been playing this game for a long time, and you would expect him that he is very capable of adapting to his opponent.
Yeah, speaking of adapting, we do see that the 2-base Colossus build is nowhere to be found, as we do see Zest opening up with that Stargate and then putting down a pretty quick Twilight. So I think we're going to see some very unique aggression coming out for Zest.
Yeah, I mean, immediately we do see kind of a different build order compared to the previous games. Now, this Twilight Cancel, I think this might just be for Blink Stalker. Yeah, okay, yeah. Because the idea is that the Oracle provides high ground vision, and that allows the Stalker to blink on up. And the way, kind of the positioning of where they spawn, the buildings of the Terran player is gonna, their add-ons is gonna actually be facing towards the Blink side, towards the surface area, I guess the edge of the base. So what Zest can pretty much do is just blink up, snipe the add-on, and then just blink out, back out. And I think that's what he's kind of going for, especially since he's just kind of parking his Oracle at that cliff area.
Right. Now, I do like this a lot. However, on the other hand, we do see that Cure is playing a very standard, very, very solid, very safe build. He's opening up with that quick Raven, and a tank is almost done, so it looks like he is not looking to put on any aggression anytime soon. He's just trying to make sure that he doesn't die to anything immediately. So yeah, I agree. I think that it's going to come down to whether or not Zest can successfully snipe the stim or whatever upgrade will be out at that time.
All right, looks like so far Zest just gonna play a little bit defensive right now. Okay, now he's starting to move as Blink is about to finish. Here we go. Let's see if Kier... Well, actually, it looks like he does have a nice defensive stance here. Got the tank here. Oh, as I say that, he is moving his entire army. That might not be a good sign. But at the same time, the Blink Stock is actually moving towards the front instead of the backside. So...
Oh, interesting. Yeah, so it looks like both players are just sort of converging and consolidating all of their armies to meet right at the ramp. So I'm not too sure about that. I would prefer to see Zest, you know, try to do an aggressive blink, and like you said, try to snipe the high ground. Now, it looks like Cure also recognizes that that is a potential threat. So he does split his army, making sure that one tank is sieged up on the high ground and another on the low ground. But at the same time, I think that Zest is looking to, you know, just let that go for now, but also follow up with a lot of gates and possibly a... What is this? A charge Archon army, maybe? I'm not too sure.
Yeah, I mean, he is getting the charge upgrade. I mean, the Templar Archive is on the way, and you know, charge generally is good against a tank-based army. So I think that's the reason why he's adding all these gateways, because he does recognize the army composition of Kier. And so if there is a moment where Kier does go across the map, he will Zest will have at least a lot of army, a lot of charge lot to get on top of those tanks and those Marines. And here we go. Looks like Kier is ready to push out.
Oh man, look at Zest cheeky warping to the north. He does actually get a round of Zealots up towards the north. So they are going to catch Cure off guard, but at the same time, Cure's main force, Raven Bio, with a couple of tanks, are going to try to beat out these Stalkers as the Stalkers try to stall them out, and I'm not sure if this is enough for Zest to defend at home. Yeah, it looks like he's actually going to bring the backdoor round of Zealots home as well and try to make sure that he can break this position that Cure has already established.
Oh, but it looks like Cure is going to make a beeline to the natural and takes out 18 workers. Oh boy, that... Even if Zest cleans this up, I think that was well worth it.
Yeah, definitely. What an aggressive stim, and what a very smart play by Cure. So, like you said, all of these Marines are going to be cleaned up. But look at this: we see another small reinforcement at the third base location. So, forces a recall. A very cute move by Zest to make sure that he doesn't lose as much as is needed. So yeah, that was quite unfortunate. Oh my gosh, look at this. This small Bioforce is going to definitely get its money worth, coming back in for another round at the third base, taking down an additional 4. Oh, can it get a 5th? Yes, it does get 5 probes and 6 more. I hate it whenever I'm trying to evacuate my workers and then there's a couple left in the gas geysers, and it's like, well, I can't select you, so you're stuck there for now.
Yeah, I get you. I feel what you mean. But boy, it looks like Cure is like slowly but surely kind of picking Zest apart here. The one saving grace for Zest is that Cure is yet to make a third CC. Oh, actually, never mind. As I say that, he is floating a third CC, so scratch what I just said. But oh, these Blink Stalkers, maybe he can snipe it. Nope, looks like there's just too much on the ground here by Cure.
Yeah.
And Zest, he is gonna have to get some like sick storms, because right now he is quite behind in the army supply, and as well as the upgrade, as well as the workers. So really, there's not a lot of not a hope for our blue Protoss, except the storm, of course, because that is the trump card, the ace card, the wild card.
Right. Now, speaking of ace cards, we do see a mine drop coming into the third base, potentially looking for some even more economic damage. Oh, no way! The target firing on the Widow Mine at the third does take down another 5 probes. A single probe, making the grand total 6, goes down at the natural base. And here we go. We see the main Bioforce moving out. We see a bunch of Bio. We see a bunch of Widow Mines. Storm is about to finish, so now it's going to come down to Zest to defend successfully using his splash effectively, but I'm not too sure if he can handle all of this Bio.
Yeah, especially in a wide open area like this, Storm is not going to be able to be as effective because of the split. But looks like maybe Zest no, never mind. He is left over with a bunch of Blink Stalkers. These charged Warpins might be able to help him stabilize and defend and thwart this attack off, but Cure can just kite for days with this army, and the numbers and the supply is dwindling for Zest. And GG, Cure does it. Cure beats Zest in a 3-2 score. Well played.